Welcome back, it's your boy Mo, and we are back with another one. Now today's video, we finna get real deep, y'all. It's a little continuation from the last, but don't worry, you're gonna be able to stay up to date with it. Let's go.
All the people that called you crazy when you were speaking about conspiracy theories, dinosaurs, aliens, jabs, fluoride, chemtrails, they will be the same people that come to you for answers. Remember they said we should wear our 10 hats? It seemed like all of our conspiracy theories was really conspiracy facts. These people eating babies. But when spiritual people try to warn people and say that aliens control this world, they laughed at us. It's not funny now. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Everything in this reality is being exposed. You could be a non-spiritual person with your eye closed, your third eye not working, you will still see the truth. We're about to go into a spiritual shift. They are not losing their power because they never had none. The power just being returned back to the people they stole it from. The people that control this world, they made the internet to trap us in a spider web. It backfired. Now more spiritual people are communicating with more spiritual people worldwide. So many people are activating this, they are seeing through the smoke and mirrors. So when these people talk, we just laugh. We don't take it serious. And the people that do take it serious, let's just say they're NPCs. An NPC job is to make sure you don't wake up. You ever talk to someone about some of the realest shit, and they say, huh? What? What you say? I don't want you to think that you are the problem if you can't wake someone up. The real problem is they was not designed to wake up. They are a part of the circus or the big ass stage. I hear so many people speaking about frequency and vibration, but they never tell you what is frequency and vibration. Every time you have a thought, that's a vibration. And what it do, it travels throughout your body. That's a frequency. That's why they say always have good thoughts. You are creating your own reality. Yes, it's really true. So please try to save your energy because you cannot save or wake up other people. Everything in the dark will come to the light. And these people that control this world, they are being exposed. But here's the tricky part. We are so desensitized, we lost our emotions. Right now, this is just another test. They are telling you everything they are doing to see how we will react. Some people will get mad. Some people will say, it's not true. That's the test. You are the test.
Nah, this is about to get crazy. You guys remember how there used to be asylums like for crazy people back in the days? Check this out.
What if the insane asylums from the 1800s weren't built for insane people at all? Think about it. People always say, if there was a reset, wouldn't everyone have known? But what if the people who did know were labeled insane? In the 1800s, all across America and Canada, massive insane.
Just before we get a little bit too far from that, okay? Just a little bit too far from that. What are they doing now? Aren't they still pretty much doing the same thing? They still labeling crazy people, insane people, putting them into mental hospitals just because they know the truth. It's the same thing going on. They kill off everybody so that they can't learn the history. That's why if you have anyone that is around you that knows the history from the past, please learn it. We have to learn it and pass it down. That's why I'm so thankful that I was able to have time to learn from all the greats in my family and in my life. You got to learn it and you got to pass it down because this is what they're trying to do. Let's keep going.
insane asylums started appearing. Huge buildings, massive stone structures, some of the biggest buildings in the entire country at the time. But here's the strange part. Many of these cities were just being founded. So where did all of these insane people come from? And how did they know there would be so many of them that they built entire castle-like complexes to hold them? Look at the Central Lunatic Asylum in Ohio. It looks more like a fortress than a hospital. Look at the Columbia State Hospital. At one point, it was the largest building in the United States. And then there's St. Vincent Hospital in St. Louis. They say it was built in 1 year. 1 year in the 1800s. With that architecture. So you have to ask yourself, were these buildings really made to treat the insane? Or were they made to silence people who remembered a world that no longer existed?
What if the people who they considered crazy were never crazy at all? And that's why they stopped building these asylums, because now everybody's already brainwashed. It's like these people were probably never crazy to begin with. They were just exposing the truth, and that's why they kept building these massive asylums in the 1800s. They didn't want the truth getting out. And then once the truth got out and everybody that actually knew the truth was dead by getting old, that's when they stopped building these asylums. What the fuck, bro?
Now, before we get too far away from this, I feel like I gotta say this. What if, just hear me out, what if this was the beginning of MK Ultra? Because of how long ago it was. What if they made these specific areas because they knew exactly what they wanted to do? Allegedly. Let's keep going.
Could this be the true form of the world's rulers? There are reports that yes, they are the ones who own and manage this planet. That's why so much coldness, so much evil, so much cruelty is carried out in this world, because it's under their rule. Some of them move about on the surface, but they prefer to live underground. Yes, because down there, they are protected from all the electromagnetism, all the pollution and toxicity that they release up here. They hate us because they don't have the power that we do. They only have control in the 3rd and 4th dimensions. If we manage to move on to the 5th dimension and beyond, they're done for. That's why they work to lower our frequency, our immunity, calcify our pineal gland, and block our antennas so that we can't receive the information they made us forget, so we don't remember who we really are. And is it really just a conspiracy theory that they deactivated our DNA strands, most of them? And this image of a possible hidden government. And today we have governments, most of which are ruled by them, and they remain fully in power because within this great pyramid, they managed to create smaller pyramids made up of very ambitious, evil, and cruel people just like them. And today, many human beings work for them and are harming themselves, unable to even question this cruel system model.
There's 33 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus Christ. Substance that comes from your medulla, which looks like the Ark of the Covenant, has angel's wings around it, the whole thing. Trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is Christ coming down into human form. Yeah. And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney.
Nicki Minaj is not playing. She's exposing the satanic, demonic, dark, sacrificial, just weird witchcraft that is going on in the industry. I'm going to read some of these tweets and then we're going to see some of them Epstein videos and files to show you what demon, what spirit Nicki Minaj is actually fighting against. Are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times since I was trying not to say what I know, yet they continue to attempt bullying. Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their God. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. And she's posting pictures of Chucky and stuff like that. If you don't know why, it's because the movie Chucky is based on voodoo. It looked like she'd been waiting for this moment. They sabotaged my documentary because I spoke about the abuse that I suffered. They've been trying to stall my projects in hopes I'd lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. Their leaders still think it's a joke. The destruction that's about to come down on them isn't funny. Imagine if a 30-year-old rapper was out here with a 16-year-old in this day and age, and how y'all would have had his head on a platter. The guy was hugging and humping on teens in broad daylight. Next, I'll get on the owner of the Shade Room and more. Maybe I should discuss the brainwashing techniques that they use. It is so crazy, bro, how every conspiracy theory of like my childhood is actually real and all coming to light as an adult. Nicki Minaj is actually coming against the spirit of Baal, and not just Baal, it always leads to Molech. Molech's function is exploitation, dehumanization, sacrifice of the innocent, and pleasure at the cost of life. The name Molech literally means king, the one who devours life. This is the spirit behind exploitation of minors and trafficking, using people as disposable objects and consumption of human life. It is not a coincidence that Epstein's bank account is literally named Baal.
One image in the Epstein Files list contains an image that shows two chickens, and in the middle is something that's been redacted. But if you look closely, it really looks like a baby's leg. Remember when Hillary Clinton's emails came out when she was joking about sacrificing chickens to Moloch? Who's that?
The name Molech and Baal appear all over the Epstein Files. And what many of us already knew for a long time about the industry and the sickness and the witchcraft and the wickedness is clearly real. This is what the Bible says. They have built pagan shrines to Baal in the valley of Ben Hinnom, and there they sacrificed their sons and daughters to Molech. I have never commanded such a horrible deed, an incredible evil, causing Judah to sin so greatly. And do not permit any of your children to be offered as sacrifice to Molech, for you must not bring shame on the name of our God. I am the Lord. Pray for Nicki Minaj, pray for justice, and pray for the kids.
That's insane. That is. I don't even know if I know how to feel about that. I know what I can say though. What I can say is protect Nicki, man. Cause now her life is in danger. And we know exactly what they do to people that are dangerous. Rest in peace to my man's Joe. We thank you for all the hard work that you did out here on spreading the true information. We hate that they took you out, my boy. To the veteran actress and heroes, we hate you're gone. But I mean, you know, it's a cycle that will not be stopped. As we see, they can do whatever they want to do and blame it on whatever they want to blame it on. Nothing is going to fall back on them. So y'all be careful out there. Let's keep going. This is crazy. This is crazy.
In this industry, what you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, like I was, had no idea that these people still live. They will prey, haunt, kidnap, anything to stay on top. This is their world. They have nothing but time, is what they believe. The art of exchanging spirits, trading spirits.
And then when they do die, they can move their consciousness from their decaying body, from their dead, body to a new clone of themselves. They can basically, they can harness and control and transport the informational bundle that is a soul from one piece of hardware to another, or wetware to another. They know how to do this, and this is why, like, in all the human myths about Apollo and Aphrodite and whatever, Zeus himself, these gods seem like they live forever. They always look the same, and whereas humans are, being born and dying generation after generation, these Nordics these gods always look the same because, first of all, their lifespans are thousands of our years per body, and then also they can move their consciousness into clones of themselves. So yeah, it's exactly as you describe it. It was done a very long time ago. And these are the people who manage us.
This bruise on the left eye is not an accident. It's the surgical scar from a possession ritual. In the underworld, this has a name: soul scalping. They know the eye is the only direct entry to the pineal gland without needing to open the skull. The ritual consists of forcing out the original human consciousness through extreme pain. The eye turns purple from the violence of the entry. A parasitic entity takes control of the central nervous system. The person you once knew is dead. What's left there is just a biological suit, an avatar being piloted by something that hates humanity. And the worst part? They show off the black eye with a smile. It's not a shame, it's a trophy. It's the signal for the other cult members. The transition has been completed. The house has a new owner. They don't hide it because they know you don't have the courage to believe the truth. They are stealing bodies in broad daylight. Don't surrender your mind to them.
Y'all can sit there and say this AI and all that. But when the hell are y'all gonna believe it? That's all I want to know. When the hell are y'all gonna believe it? I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't believe in promoting AI. But just like I said, if it has a message, it has to be sent. Okay? And that had a message. And I hope everybody caught it. Let's keep going.
Look at secret societies. That's how society in general is constructed. You have a tiny few at the top who know the big picture, and then the rest of the people know, as you go down from the top, less and less and less of the big picture. They only know their part in it. So all these people within human society are making decisions that are serving that, and they don't even know that exists. It's a conspiracy theory. The world, I keep saying, I've been saying for so long, is run by psychopaths. It's psychopaths that bomb the innocent. It's psychopaths that create a situation where people go hungry in a world of plenty. It's psychopaths that take children from their families for no good reason, which is happening on an industrial scale these days, and so on and so forth.
Well, the translators are gone, and the live stream is waning, which means that if we just listen to my colleague Matthias, the best thing in the world would be to leave it to you, the people. Now it's up to you to share what clearly, based on the cavernous emptiness we see in all of these spaces, is only going to be heard if you share it. So it feels very appropriate that I should be the one with the quietest voice. But let's let that lion roar, shall we? I'm done talking about COVID, and I'm done talking about SARS-CoV-2, and I'm done for a very simple reason. For 110 years, we, the people of the world, have been lied to. We're a group of very small number of criminal industrial conspirators decided to subordinate the entirety of the human population for the purpose of their sinister plans to enrich themselves while impoverishing and killing the rest of humanity. And I'm done being polite. We've long passed polite. When the words acceptable death rate become part of an industrial norm, we have lost the plot of humanity. And that's not my words. Those were the words of the World Health Organization and of Pfizer and of Moderna when they were given the authorization to begin the process of killing human beings in the interest of advancing their goals. Next slide. And I'm also not going to sugarcoat this. This is a criminal cartel. We are acting as though there's some sort of redeemable quality somewhere in some esoteric layer that somehow or another the World Health Organization must have some salutatory benefit. Well, I'm going to tell you, since its formation in the 1940s, the World Health Organization has been nothing more than a criminal cartel that has a sole and singular intent. And I will show you the document that proves what I'm saying. This is not an allegation. This is actually provable by their own words in their own hand. And they use a four-step process to execute every one of their nefarious plans. They begin by planning an exercise, then they go to the business of funding that exercise, then they create the rationale for the thing that they're going to do, and then they deploy and profit from it. And in violation of 15...
Before we get there, I don't know if I'm wrong, but don't that kind of sound like what they're doing with the hantavirus? Y'all be careful out there. Keep your heads on the swivel.
There's been a few reports that some people have actually seen Jeffrey Epstein shapeshift into a reptilian. Wow. Bill Gates, there's been reports that he's also a reptilian. A lot of the reasons why these non-terrestrial evil entities, these negative aliens, look human is because they use various technologies to make the appearance of looking human, or at least to hold the appearance. There's these things called holographic layers that they use, where, you know, when we see them on TV, when they are at an event, you know, they always masquerade under these humanitarian, what they're called foundations. What are they called? Humanitarian foundations, as they call them, but they're really not. They're fronts. They hold that appearance due to the technology that they use. But in order to be able to use this technology, they also have to consume the baby blood. Adrenochrome, right? Adrenochrome to a very high extent. Now, there's so many layers to this. It's not just about like all the dirty politicians and everyone that was involved in their mom. Even the whole non-human terrestrial connection, how literally these underground facilities were not run by humans. They were actually run by reptilians, using humans as their, you could say, their vessels, pretty much.
Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein were involved in black op government experiments involving disposable orphan children and aliens, according to bombshell footage recorded by John McAfee before he was found dead. In the final years of his life, McAfee was running a high-stakes spying operation using viral spyware and drone surveillance. What he uncovered, straight from the heart of the US government, was staggering. Alien-human hybrid breeding programs using black orphans trafficked from American cities. Sickening experiments that would make Dr. Joseph Mengele himself blush in horror. And evidence that suggests the Book of Enoch wasn't just ancient mythology. And at the center of it all, the man McAfee called the world's most deranged psychopath, Bill Gates.
I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. The Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker.
John McAfee uncovered...
Isn't that weird that he just said that these people are the largest drug and human traffickers in the world? But they always blaming it on, you know what, I ain't even gonna say it. Let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going.
Solid evidence that government agencies were running criminal enterprises, deeply entangled with Jeffrey Epstein, and involved breeding alien-human hybrids for purposes that are as revolting as they are immoral and dystopian. We've known for years that the mainstream media knew about Jeffrey Epstein and chose not to report on the VIP pedophile ring.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything.
I mean, this whole time. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of us already knew. But to know that they already knew, and ain't nobody get prosecuted. See, there's a phrase that I like to say. You're not a part of the solution. You're a part of the problem. Let's keep going.
If you've just been looking for names in the recent file release, you're doing exactly what they're hoping you will. Instead, you should be focused on the fundamental theology these elites subscribe to. They don't worship a god, but they do his bidding whether they know it or not. The Gnostics warned us about the archons, but they didn't mention their physical representative in our reality. His name is Baal, and those who do his dirty work are known as Sabbatean Frankists. Oh yeah, and if you're interested in learning more about ancient deities and mystery traditions like Gnosticism, Hermeticism, Rosicrucianism, and Kabbalah, make sure to click the link in my bio because the doors to the inner sanctum are opening for a limited time very soon, so if you're interested, make sure to click the link. And now that you're ready, hold on to your hats because we're going to be talking about Baal and the archetype of ultimate compromise. Alright, so first things first, these elites don't worship a god in the way you understand it, but they do serve Baal, not as conscious devotion, but as unconscious submission to his archetypal pattern of moral inversion. Now, Baal is the lord of the ultimate compromise, and they've become his unwitting agents. Now, Baal originated as the Canaanite storm god who demanded extreme offerings in exchange for material abundance, but Baal represents something deeper than that too, and that's the spiritual frequency that whispers the end justifies the means to those who are seeking ultimate power. The Hebrew prophets condemned Baal worship because they recognized it as complete inversion of divine law. What makes Baal's influence so insidious is that he doesn't require conscious worship. He only needs the compromise. Remember that. The willingness to cross moral lines others won't cross is all he needs. Now, Baal feeds on this moment that someone decides their goals are so important that any method becomes acceptable to achieve them. Now, modern elites operating under Baal's influence believe that they're serving higher purposes, but they're actually perpetuating the ancient pattern that Baal established. Invert the sacred to accumulate power. They think they're pragmatists when in reality, they're just Baal's servants, causing genuine harm while convincing themselves it's for the greater good. Alright, I get it, Baal's not a great guy, but where does this make its way into the modern day? Well, in 1666, Baal struck gold. He found a new theological vehicle when Hebrew mystic Sabbatai Zevi declared himself the Messiah. When forced to convert to Islam, Zevi's followers created the perfect Baal doctrine, and it was called redemption through sin. This became Baal's masterpiece of deception, convincing people that transgression serves divine purposes. Sabbatians practiced deliberate violation of religious law, believing Baal's lie that breaking divine commandments actually hastened their redemption. Baal had successfully inverted the entire concept of spiritual practice. Instead of purification leading to enlightenment, Baal convinced his followers that degradation led to salvation. The worse the act, the more redemptive power that Baal claimed it contained. The movement went underground, with Baal's influence spreading across secret societies, maintaining his doctrine while appearing conventional at the same time. Baal thrives in shadow networks where his moral inversions can operate without scrutiny. But wait, it gets even worse with the birth of Baal's perfect prophet. Jacob Frank, born 1726, became Baal's most effective prophet to date. Frank claimed to be Sabbatai Zevi's reincarnation and announced that Baal's path required complete inversion of all moral values. Frank called this the burden of silence.
These Freemasons were called Shattu. As a matter of fact, the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape. In the last, there was a pyramid war. There were two pyramid wars. The second pyramid war in the tablets talks about the fact that the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape through a hidden passage in one of the pyramids. And before he left, he decreed that he would leave the kingdom to his Ra-Kam. Ra-Kam, K-A-M, translates now into shield. Kam translates into shield, Ra, shield. Over time, it became Rothschilds. And so this decree came down tens of thousands of years ago. Who's the richest family on the planet, worth $700 trillion combined income, net worth? The Rothschilds.
Hussein rejected the Rothschild banking cabal. He rejected the central bankers. That's what that was all about? Yeah, he wanted his own system of monetary exchange outside of the central banks. We can't have that shit. Right? Guess who else did that? JFK. I was going to ask you about that. Guess who else did that? Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah. Guess who's doing that now? Vladimir Putin. Gotta have regime change. Because we can't have this rejection of the central banks, because that's what's required for the ushering in of the one world governance, the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, whatever you want to call it. Right. The New World Order. The Hold the Pale Horse. You know, that is every single military intervention that we have been in has been funded by the Rothschilds. So, banking system. Yeah. So just think about that. The bankers tell us when to open our borders. The bankers tell us when transgenderism should be accepted. The bankers tell us when we're facing systemic racism and when to riot. We don't do anything with or without the permission of the bankers.
Because if you really think about that, if you really think about it, Black Lives Matter groups and, a lot of things like that is under the Rothschilds. They have the power and the authority over that. So it's like whenever they say, let's let this happen, that's why we have a problem now where we're not believing each other, And I don't even want to say believing each other. Y'all ain't believing us. Y'all never wanted to believe us. All this stuff that we've been saying, y'all never wanted to believe us until it started happening to y'all. And like we've been trying to let y'all know for a very long time now. This is nothing new. The only thing that's new about it is that they've just changed the race. They probably changed the genders. But this is the same thing that's been going on. Y'all ass, it's just new to this. We've learned how to maneuver through all this. So, if you want to get some help, you know what to do. Let's keep going. Y'all don't understand. Y'all ain't catching it. It's cool.
They have just admitted that the pyramids do exactly what I've been telling you. I predicted this years ago, and they called me crazy. Now mainstream science just confirmed exactly what I've been saying, that the Great Pyramid of Giza focuses electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers. It's been scientifically proven as a fact. The ancients weren't building tombs, they were building frequency generators. So listen to me. The structures were designed to optimize human consciousness, to activate dormant DNA, to connect us with our higher dimensional intelligence. And this is what they've been hiding. The oligarchs, they know this. They suppressed this technology because if humanity understood that these sites were still functional, that you can go there and literally upgrade your DNA, the whole control system would collapse. So I'm telling you, as above, so below. The pyramid shape itself creates a torsion field that amplifies thought energy. This is why they don't want you visiting these sites. This is why they're closing more and more sites all the time. This is why they gatekeep ancient knowledge. But we are the children of light, and the truth is coming out whether they like it or not. Go to the link in my bio and get free access to tools that can help you rewire your mind, shift your frequency, and start aligning with your highest potential. These tools have helped thousands of people create real inner change, and I'm sure they can support you too.
This is raw, unfiltered scientific proof of what the pyramids were really built for. This is what a real Egyptian tomb looks like. Dark, enclosed, and filled with hieroglyphs. But this is the Great Pyramid of Giza, the biggest tomb in the world. The closer you look, the more you realize that this pyramid was definitely not made for burying the dead. Why? Because the materials used to build it are exactly what we use today to create electricity. Let's break it down. Giza was once covered in bright white casing stones, polished to perfection and virtually airtight. These stones were made of limestone from Tura, a quarry 500 miles away. Wait, what? They drag stones the length of Florida just to make the pyramids look nice and shiny? Not quite. This special limestone from Tura has less magnesium than regular limestone, making it an ideal insulator of electricity. Oh, and it also reflects sunlight, keeping the inside cool. Coincidence? Maybe, but let's keep digging. The interior chambers of the pyramid were built with rose granite, which contains asterisk 85% quartz. Quartz is piezoelectric, meaning it generates a small electric charge when moved or squeezed. The same quartz we use to power watch batteries and barbecue lighters. But that's not all. Granite also ionizes the air inside the chambers, further increasing the conductivity of electricity. And guess what? This granite was sourced from Aswan, another quarry hundreds of miles away. Now here's where it gets weird. The granite slabs inside Giza have these strange structural designs that don't exactly look decorative. In fact, they're incredibly difficult to make. Why would you build a roof like this using 80-ton stone blocks from hundreds of miles away when you can't even see it from inside the chamber? Historians claim these were relieving chambers meant to prevent the room from collapsing under the weight of the pyramid. But here's the kicker. The chambers below had no such relief. On the other hand, if you were somehow able to apply pressure to these chambers, you'd get an electric charge from the quartz. A lot of it. But electricity can't just exist on its own. To utilize it, you need to direct it through something. Enter copper, a metal often used in wires to conduct electricity. And guess what a remote camera revealed in the pyramid's narrow shafts just a few years ago? 2 copper handles embedded into the stone at the end of the shaft, the only metal ever confirmed in Giza. Oh, and there's also what appears to be a wiring diagram painted on the side of the shaft.
IShowSpeed Speed just went to Egypt. He went inside the pyramids, and I still question, how those pyramids were built back then.
You ain't got to question it. You know how it was built. It was built through frequency and vibration, right? And they sort of like, and make rocks move the same way I made the wind move. This is stuff that they know, but they can't tell you because it's against national security. But the government are using these same people. Did you know the government are using people that do these things?
X-Men.
Yeah, they're using them, right? But they're not going to tell you. They just used them when they just run around and took all that shit. So I'm just telling you that they already know this shit, but they can't tell you because it's against national security. But that's the reason why they do certain things. You get the food, you get all that shit that drains you, you can't use your powers. Right? And then they put you on TV, and then they understood what they had to do. They had to dumb down your mind and put limitations on your mind because your mind really had no limits. But once they boxed your mind in, even now, gang, it's hard for me. Like, I gotta actually get in the trance to do this, to even speak, to do anything. I gotta because I've been so programmed, I can't do it without being possessed.
When Napoleon was hired, he's the one that destroyed the Sphinx, trained his cannon and blew off the nose and the lips of the Sphinx, because the Sphinx is a lion with a head of a black man on it. But if I knock the thick lips and the broad nose, you won't be able to see the African black features, and you won't know that this was a black man's head. And we'll miss the message that our ancestors was trying to send. What were they saying? Lion is the king of the jungle. I'm gonna put your head on the king of the jungle because I want you to know down the line of time that you are the king of this universe. So when he went inside of that great pyramid Giza that the Sphinx sit at the base of, this was a pyramid we built. I'm talking about, this is when we were a proud, powerful, pious, and productive people before we came to America. We knew how to make things happen. We knew how to live. We knew how to eat. We knew how to parent. We knew how to do all of the things we're struggling with now. Whenever we were in the motherland, we handled ourselves appropriately. So we built this pyramid Giza, 451 feet tall, 451 feet deep into the earth. It covers 13.5 acres of land made of 1 million stones that are made of gold, marble, or granite, each one of them weighing 3.5 tons apiece. Every stone is stacked mathematically precise, north to south, east to west, up in the air, down into the earth, not even deviating 1 square inch. And we built it without John Deere or a caterpillar, not even a bulldozer. We used the power of psychokinesis or telepathy or the power of our mind over matter to move that stone. That's how great we used to be.
I hope everybody caught that. Because he says that's how great we used to be. That doesn't mean that we still can't be that great. We just have to detach ourselves from this world. We have to detach ourselves from this music box that we're stuck in. Okay? That's how we can look at it. We're stuck in the music box. And we have to detach ourselves. We have to get out of this music box and go back to our old ways so that we can get those powers that we had and show everyone why we are different, why we are the way we are, the way we look. It's because we are powerful. Let's not forget that now. Let's keep cooking.
Somebody said viruses are man-made. They don't exist in nature. They don't exist in anything, actually. It's just a made-up word. That's where it gets even deeper, right? It's just a made-up word. They've made up a word where people are like, oh, but I've got EBV. I've got HPV. I've got the herp. I've got this. I've got AIDS. I've got HIV. I've got flu. I've got this. They just make up words. All they're doing is poisoning people on a regular basis. Whether it be a cell phone tower, whether it be a vaccine, whether it be a pesticide. That's pretty much it. And then they're like, oh, but you've got this. And that doctor told me this. All the doctors are Muppets. They're Rockefeller Muppets. They're there to sell you poisons and poison you the entire time. That's what it comes down to.
I had a dramatic example of this when I was growing up. Right outside our house, there was a wetlands. And it was full of frogs, and the frogs kept me up at night, so I taped the windows, and they were, in the spring, they made a big racket. And then over time, the frogs were all gone. How many thinks the frogs had a genetic disease? How many thinks the frogs had a virus? How many thinks somebody put DDT into the water? That's what happened. Diseases are poisoning.
I'm just gonna keep it a whole buck. I fuck around, go to a hospital, come out, whatever, and I see this shit. I'm slapping the shit out of somebody, okay? I'm slapping the shit out of somebody. Somebody gotta get slapped. Fuck this. Let's keep going.
There is nothing more toxic that ever could be injected into a human body than a vaccine. I'm not talking about certain vaccines, I'm talking about all vaccines. There is not one redeeming substance in any vaccine. Each substance is highly toxic on its own merit. And in a soup, there's no value to it. There's no way to prove that many toxic ingredients all of a sudden become magically beneficial. Your main 5 substances that are in every vaccine are liquid mercury, aluminum, formaldehyde, ether, and detergent. And you can have anywhere from 23 to 68 toxic ingredients in every vaccine. All those that are labeled inert, which means inactive, have a deteriorating effect on the health of the human body. Every one. Squalene is highly toxic, and they're putting that into flu vaccines now. There is no science that proves that they will stop diseases. In fact, it's proved that they create diseases.
Listen, what I want everybody to understand is that the things that they're putting into the medicine is the same jacked up chemicals that they're putting in the food. It's in the food. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has floor cleaner in it. Wax floor cleaner. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. And to know that the same effed up ingredients that they putting into the food, they think they making medicine out of it. It makes so much sense on why so many people are getting sick when they're on medication, especially when they stop, because you can put all these damaging chemicals inside of you. Now you're dying from the inside out.
If you got vaccinated, you need to watch this.
First of all, you give them funds. Then you give them smart funds. Then you go to technology on the body. X is inside the body. The other side of it is what they call the cloud. Through the medium of this cloud, they will connect to this self-replicating nanotechnology in the body. It will control what you think. Artificial intelligence becomes the human mind. That's the goal. So, is it such a stretch to think that an anti-human agenda could be perpetrated ultimately by a non-human race, a non-human force operating outside of human visual?
He said the nanotechnology is self-replicating, which means once it goes inside your body, it creates its own self. It keeps duplicating itself and it's going to your brain. This was all a part of the plan, people. They're going to control your mind, and they probably already are through satellites. It's technology. They always tell us through movies what's going to happen. Check this out. Everybody that got this is connected to a server, a cloud, and everybody is going to be controlled mentally. And this is why they forced everybody to get it. They threatened your job. They told you that you were going to lose this. You people need to be detoxing. If you didn't get it, make sure you're not sleeping with people who got vaccinated, because you're going to take on their blood and that nanotechnology that's in their bloodstream. Holy fuck.
Well, that is the end of that insane video. The video is crazy. And I hope that y'all really took away from that video, because it's letting you know they want all the control. They don't have control over us, but they want every bit of control over us. We can't let them have it. That's what's going on right now. They're trying to take our powers. We can't let them have it. Well, excuse me, not our powers, because they already took our powers, but they want everything. They want it all now. And we cannot let them have it. We have to start detoxing. We have to start cleansing ourselves so that we can get back to our roots. We can unlock our powers, the powers that we have to heal and help this world. Because at this point, I'm scared for my future, and the future of my children, and the future of their children. It's terrifying, because the same messed up things that they put into the food is in the medicine. It's a cycle. They want to depopularize this world. And if you continue to, I would say, be of this world, if you're not doing things yourself, you're in trouble. Because they're not here to help. They are here to make you another guinea pig. So that's all in this one for now. That next one, we dropping fire. Okay? So make sure you're ready. Because, as always, it will get deep. Because my name is your boy Mo. Mo stands for mission over everything. I'm on a mission. This is the mission. To bring you all the knowledge on what is going on how they're trying to keep us suppressed. We need to be free, but we cannot be free unless everybody is free. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to fight for me and my family. And I want you to do the same. So this is how we do it. Through the mission. The mission is over everything. So as I say, what is above is below. And what is below is all around. So keep your heads on a swivel. I love y'all. Till the next time. We out.